Yes, within 10 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds.
Okay, just give me a go ahead, then I'll start.
Go ahead now.
Okay. A very good afternoon to all on board for the session on Alumni Speak, webinar on cybersecurity, the road ahead. We all hope that you are safe, happy, and healthy. With this second wave of COVID probably setting in, we all need to be extra cautious. At the outset, on behalf of NHITM, I express my deepest gratitude to our management for providing this platform for continuous development of students. Let me express thanks and appreciation to Dr. Shamal Kumar Mukherjee, MD Admin, Dr. Dilip G. Borse, Executive Director, Dr. Prashant Deshmukh, Principal, Mrs. Megha Gupta, Vice Principal, Dr. Sunil Bobre, Dean Academics, Dr. Prasen Kumar Saklecha, Dean HR, all the department heads, FE in charge, exam in charge, my faculty colleagues, and dear students who have joined in for today's session. Today, with unfathomable pride and pleasure, let us welcome Ms. Sushmita Karmakar, our alumna, class of 2019, Computer Engineering, for the session of Alumni Speak, with the aim of creating a window to get a glimpse of the ideology practices at NHITM, when and where our vision is to achieve a holistic development for our students towards technical prowess and humanitarian skills. Dear students, let us all remind ourselves that while pursuing our single-centric goals, let us not part ways with true knowledge, passion, creativity, innovation, and above all, our moral values. Our best practices in NHITM is working towards a goal to achieve as a common objective a mode of student development towards creating an arena of technical expertise accompanied by sense of social responsibility as well as environmental awareness. It gives me immense pride to share a few words about Sushmita, whom we all remember as a very bright and active student. Sushmita has always been an inquisitive student and has been inclined towards gaining a deep understanding of the subjects by critical analysis rather than rote learning. Her passion for the field of cybersecurity was visible since the third year of her undergraduate degree. She was always seen in the practical labs trying her hands on Linux systems and troubleshooting network errors that she encountered. I believe that it was this passion which drove her to get her first professional certification while she was in her 7th semester. She juggled her academics as well as the demands of the certification flawlessly and achieved her academic as well as professional goals. Sushmita went ahead with cybersecurity and came up with a research paper for a prototype of IoT-based remote-controlled car for pen testing wireless networks. This research paper went on to be published in the much renowned IEEE conference of 2019, Global Conference for Advancement in Technology. Sushmita can be described as a self-motivated person with crystal clear clarity towards her goals. She is presently positioned as cybersecurity analyst at KPMG. Now, let me hand over this platform to Sushmita Karmakar. We are all proud of you. Yes, Sushmita, the platform is all yours now.
Thank you very much, Moshmi ma'am, for such kind words. And I extremely appreciate this opportunity you have given me to come back as a speaker. And it feels amazing and a little weird as well to be on the other side of the table. As a student, we have had so many speakers come to our college. And right now, I am on the other side of the stage, and it's amazing. It gives me immense pleasure to be giving something back to my alma mater. So, yes, I am Sushmita Karmakar, and I have been a part of KPMG since the last 1.5 years. And it's been one hell of a journey for me. Honestly, I have learned so many things, and I can never even imagine about the overwhelming expanse of cybersecurity. Initially, when I started off, I was like, okay, I know a lot about cybersecurity. I got my certification, and I was like, yes, I do know about cybersecurity. But then once you kind of dive into the industry, do you actually know the depth of this particular field? So today, I'm not here to sell you on the idea of having a career in cybersecurity. I'm not going to push you to, have an interest in cybersecurity. Rather, I will tell you about how I found my interest into this field and how you can too find your interest in anything that fascinates you. So I have been told that we have viewers from all years and all branches. So I'm going to keep it as generic as possible. So shall we begin?
Sushmita,
Yes.
I think I need to give a message to all the students who are watching that whatever questions you have in mind, especially the computer engineering branch, or anybody going for this, speciality as such, we'll have a question and answer round in the last 15 minutes, wherein you can put your questions in the chat box of YouTube, because this session is being aired on YouTube, right? So
Right.
15 minutes in the end, we'll have this session. Okay, Sushmita?
Sure,
Right.
sure, absolutely. So please throw whatever questions you have. I may not be able to answer all of them, but I can make sure that I'll study, come back with an answer again. So yes. Can I present my screen, Shrikant sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Uh, so please let me know when it's visible.
It's visible.
All right. Okay. Yes. So what is cybersecurity? I mean, we all know a lot about, we have heard about viruses and ransomwares hitting major companies and causing a lot of reputational damage, financial damage. But then, how does it affect us personally? Like, is it limited to only the viruses we encounter on our computers? So, which is why we put up antivirus systems on our laptops and computers, and we say that, okay, fine, now I'm safe from cybersecurity. So, cybersecurity in your daily life, we all think that we have nothing to lose, we are entirely protected. But if you see your daily life, right, from the moment you wake up, the first thing you do is take your phone, scroll through Instagram, or take a snap to maintain that snap streak of yours. Then you probably, have a car or get into a cab which has GPS systems. You'll go to your college, study, like not now. Right now, it's all virtual. But let's say you just open up your personal devices, um, open your Google Meet session to attend your lectures. Then probably you'll order some food through Swiggy, Zomato, do an online payment. In the evening, you'll probably go to a cafe or a restaurant or something, spend some time with your friends during weekends, and then that's how your day ends. But in this entire cycle, at every stage, we encounter numerous cybersecurity issues. Let me tell you how. As soon as you are opening your social media, you are susceptible to phishing and various kinds of scams, wherein your credentials would be stolen or compromised. Your identity can be compromised. Whenever you sit in an Uber or Ola, or you have a personal car which has GPS, or a very highly advanced car systems which has magnetic keys, all of these can be compromised very easily. Your safety can be compromised, in other words. Next, when you are doing some online transactions, if you are not sure about where you are sending your money or through which website are you sending your money, your financial records can be compromised as well. Finally, when you are on the weekend, when you're with your friends having a cup of coffee, using the public Wi-Fi to share your status on Instagram, you will be susceptible to different kinds of malwares that can compromise your device only because you have been connected to a public Wi-Fi there. So it's not that cybersecurity is a threat only for huge companies, but it is a threat for you yourself personally, your family, your friends. It is a threat every time, and it is very important for us to always be mindful about what we are using, how we are using, how much information we are sharing. And these things are many times overlooked. Like, yes, we know this happens, we know this is how to protect, but as it is said in cybersecurity, that humans are the weakest link in the chain. So being mindful of what you do is important in cybersecurity. Going forward, when do we think about security? It's not like every time while brushing our teeth or using our phone, we'll think about cybersecurity, right? That does not happen, honestly. Not even organizations do that. We only think about security when we have something of value and there is a risk that we can get compromised, that our important, valuable data, information can be compromised and used in a malicious way. Something as simple as your phone number, your Aadhaar card, your name. This is your identity. Your personal information gets compromised in various ways, and at times these personal information are sold on the dark web as well. So in case you guys are not aware about dark web, you can go ahead and listen to a podcast on Audible called as The Dark Web to understand more about how the dark web functions. I won't be going very deep into that, but it's a very interesting topic. If you guys are interested, please go ahead and check that out. All these websites that we use, Skype, Zoom, Snapchat, Facebook, Zomato, every one of these sites have been hacked at least once. In fact, as a personal experience, in 2017, Zomato was hacked and a lot of credentials and user data was compromised. During that time, I remember my credential was also compromised. And how did I find out if I was compromised or not? It was because of this one website I found called Have I Been Pawned? So I went in there. I actually stumbled upon this site called Have I Been Pawned? And I saw there that my credential was compromised because of the Zomato breach that happened. So every one of us have been compromised. Every one of us have been through a cyber attack. The only difference is some know, some don't. Going forward on what are the types of cyber threats. So in my 1.5 years of experience, I'll be honest, I must have only scratched about 5% of the surface area of the entire field of cybersecurity. That's how vast and overwhelming this field is. There are so many attacks happening every day, and it's not the kind of field wherein you'll encounter the same things every day. No, it's such a dynamic field wherein you'll have to keep yourself updated and always be 2 times ahead of the attackers. So it is said that an attacker is going to try to attack a system 100 times, and he only needs that one chance to have a successful attack and compromise the system. However, on the other side, as cybersecurity analysts, we have to be correct 100% of the times to stop that compromise from happening. And that is how demanding the job can get. So these are just some of the attacks that I have mentioned. As I told you, it's just 5%, and there are many more attacks that we are unaware about. And we are constantly working towards securing our system, hardening our systems. And it's just a journey that keeps advancing. And who threatens us? So in various movies, Hollywood and Bollywood, both, we see that there are these guys, teenage guys, who will sit in dark rooms wearing a black colored hoodie, and they'll have a lot of screens surrounding them, and they'll constantly keep typing something, and then suddenly they say that, oh, we have hacked the system, oh, we have this information. Guys, that is not the truth. I'm sorry to break this to you. That is absolutely not the truth. In fact, one attack can take an attacker anywhere between a week to a year. The planning towards these attacks takes a lot of time. There are a lot of steps to be followed. And no, you cannot hack a system by typing in a few words. So I remember when I started getting that interest into cybersecurity, and as I was preparing for my professional certification, my classmates used to ask me, Sushmita, can you hack somebody's Facebook? And that was honestly one of the stupidest questions you'll ever encounter, because no, there are ways to hack somebody's Facebook account, but I cannot hack Facebook, right? It's absolutely not possible with just a few clicks. So don't fall in for that kind of trap ever. Now, as you see on the screen, I have mentioned 5 types of threats, 5 types of attackers who are called as hackers. And any person who is going to that path of attacking a system needs 2 things for a successful attack. One is motivation of the attack, and second is the method in which the attack will be carried out. Now, motivation can range from anything to thrill or just curiosity to major motivations like financial damage or bringing reputational damage to an organization. So let me go through each one of them one by one. So the first one is script kiddies. Now, these guys are the most unskilled people, most unskilled hackers. They are just going to use scripts and tools written by professional hackers, and they're going to try it out just for fun, for thrill. Okay, they do not have strong motivation, and they do not have actual real skills also. They can attack your computer systems and networks. They can cause damage, but it won't be that high of a damage until and unless they use some really good tool. Okay. The next one is insider threat. I think in today's time, most organizations are plagued by insider threat the most, and it is one of the most difficult things to detect. In insider threat, any employee who is, for example, intentionally or unintentionally causes damage to your systems or your network. So it can be as simple as I, being an employee, will transfer thousands of confidential documents outside the organization and try to sell those information. I will become an insider threat. Or what if I get a phishing link? I'll open the link. Some malware is going to get downloaded into my system, and that malware causes havoc. Now, this was not done by me intentionally. It was something unintentional, but still, I become a threat to the safety and the security of the organization. So that is insider threat. Third is cyber criminals. Now, these criminals are the ones which we talk about a lot. These guys are the ones who are going to compromise your financial records, your identity, and so forth to gain financial advantage. The most common one being ransomware, that you are going to encrypt the entire file of the organization, and then you are going to ask for some ransom, for some money, in exchange for decrypting those files. So those are cyber criminals. The fourth ones are hacktivists. So these hacktivists are one of the most principled hackers, I'll say. They have a strong political belief, and their agenda to hack a system is only to promote their beliefs. They are going to be very firm about why they are attacking and what is the exact message that they want to give out. Their idea is not to get financial advantage. Okay, their idea is to promote their own ideology. And the last one is state-sponsored hackers. Now, these ones are the most advanced kind of hackers. And if you have heard, I think we all have heard that Russia and China have the most hackers. And in fact, every state or every political government would have hackers who are going to get information about the opposition or other cold countries and some sort of things. And then these guys are the ones without an identity, I'll say. They prefer to stay invisible, and one of the most advanced hackers in the hacker forum. So yeah, let me take this moment to actually tell you about the reason why I got interested into cybersecurity. So in second, so I joined engineering only because I couldn't get into a seat in medical. I wanted to pursue medicine, but that did not happen. So engineering was the backup option, and I had to come into engineering. So the first year of engineering, I was least interested into studies. My main motive was to, just kind of go ahead, pass the exams, and get it done with. In second year, I thought, okay, now that I've come here, I have to make a career out of it, right? I have to do something out of my life. And so I started exploring everything possible. I did digital marketing. I have done content creation. I have done web development, everything. I have tried everything, but nothing sort of interested me. The only thing I was very clear about was I do not want to do coding. I hated coding then, and I hate coding now as well, honestly. And so at the end of second year, I got into a 1-month internship for computer networks. And at that point in time, I stumbled across this tiny little script, a script of 3 lines, which when executed would keep restarting your computer over and over again in a loop. And that had created chaos amongst that team, the team where I was working in. So one of the people there, one of the senior there, had made the script, and he just ran it without telling anybody. And all of us were confused, what is happening? And it was chaotic. And later we saw that 3 lines of script which was run. It was then that I truly understood that what few lines of codes can do to an organization. It creates chaos. and I got very much interested into cybersecurity. So in third year, we had a subject called as computer networks, which was, I remember, taught by Azmat sir. So everything I saw in the internship, the switches, routers, firewalls, everything, the true use and the actual reason of why we are using those tools, that is something I learned in my curriculum. So I know most of the students would be, at one point or the other would think that, अरे यार syllabus में क्या ही पढ़ा रहे हैं, this so we can learn anyhow, right? So no, actually that is not the case. Our syllabus is although a little bit, how I can say, is foundational, but I think that is what is required to get a grasp on the basics. And if you actually study to learn rather than to pass your exams, I'm sure you're going to learn a lot more, like I did. So in that subject, computer networks, I learned the most about computer networks, and I actually went ahead to try it also. So one amazing thing about our college is that all the computers in our lab operate on Linux operating systems. Trust me, Linux operating systems are one of the best ones, okay? Because it is said that if you're rich, you'll use Mac. If you have a lot of patience, you're going to use Windows. But if you have skills, you're going to use Linux. So once you actually start using the Linux operating systems, you are going to get an actual idea about how a computer actually works. So as Moshmi ma'am previously mentioned, that I used to sit in the labs and try to troubleshoot errors and stuff. It was because most of my classmates used to see the errors and then they'll be like, this is not working, this computer is not working, let's just change into a different computer. And I used to do the same initially. Honestly, I used to do the same. But later, once I got the exposure into the field, I tried to troubleshoot the errors, which is how I actually learned how a computer works. We are computer science students. We are supposed to know how a computer works, and we are not going to study it somewhere. Nobody is going to teach it to us. We need to experiment it ourselves. So my point here is that go ahead, play with the computers you have. Play so much that you actually break it, because now if you break the computers in the college or your personal computers, nobody is going to come back and point at you and hold you accountable for it. Right? So this is a time to learn. So go ahead, play around how much ever you can. So after kind of starting my preparation for the professional certification called as Certified Ethical Hacker, let me tell you, it's a very foundational level certification. It will give you an insight into what is cybersecurity, what are the terminologies in cybersecurity, the basic ways in which you can do penetration testing, which is also called as hacking in normal words, but the actual terminology is penetration testing, because we are not going to use the hacking for malicious purpose, right? We are going to use it for ethical purpose, and companies are going to pay you to hack their systems or test their application systems and processes, and you are responsible to find out vulnerabilities and loopholes in the system, so that the company can later patch them up and strengthen their security posture. So yes, so this is also a career path, not the only career path. It is one of the career path. It is something that we will discuss going further. So yeah, let me move ahead with privacy. Now, cybersecurity, protecting yourself, protecting your data and information also comes with one more topic called as privacy. I'm not sure how many of you must have heard about the GDPR bill or the PDPB bill, the Privacy and Protection Bill. So privacy is being a huge concern everywhere. Now, what is privacy? Is privacy, being in your personal car where you are alone and nobody is there to hear what you are doing in your car? Or is it about having a personal room wherein you can do anything you want? So Privacy is actually about how your information is yours alone, and you decide how anybody else can use your information. And let me tell you, by now, most of us have our privacy compromised. One example being, whenever we open some website, there's this small window, a pop-up comes up, which asks you to accept cookies. And most of us have never read the privacy policy, and we just go ahead and click on accept because we want convenience, right? We want to use that website. So we just click on accept. And that is how most of your information is available on the internet. So being mindful about what you share, what you accept, and even in cookies, there are selections which you can make to minimize the information that you're sharing on the internet. So make sure you always read that small pop-up box that comes. Give it a try, read the privacy policy once, and I'm sure you'll understand a lot about what is actually happening behind the scenes. And when it comes to privacy, our latest internet viral sensation, Shweta, who unintentionally compromised the privacy of her friend on the Zoom call. And she was not a hacker, she was not an attacker, she did not have a malicious intent, she was just a teenager who was gossiping around. And unintentionally, she compromised the privacy in front of her entire class. Now, that is how your privacy can also be compromised. So we are supposed to be very mindful about what we share, where we share, and how we share. Talking about Shweta, I also realized that we have a lot of memes and jokes floating around. And I would like to take this moment to talk about cyberbullying, because this is a really huge, sensitive issue. And in this era of building content out of somebody else's insecurities and somebody else's mistakes, we create memes. All of us enjoy it, all of us have been sharing memes, and that's cool, right? That's a trend. We are sharing memes, that's a trend. But on the flip side, if you think that poor girl Shweta, she must be facing a lot of bullying. She must be having, think about it. If there was a meme on you and you are going on Instagram and looking at memes about you and you see comments filled with hatred and jokes for you, how bad is that going to feel? She must probably be isolated by her friends. Her friends are just gonna say that, why are we supposed to talk to you? You are just going to go ahead and gossip, and she must be isolated. That is cyberbullying, guys. And a lot of people have lost lives because of cyberbullying. Like, as you can see on the screen, an MBBS student, she resorted to suicide only because of the nasty comments made on social media sites. There are innumerable cases wherein girls face death or rape threats, and it is not a likable situation to be in. Plus, it is, statistically proven that kids in their teenage are more susceptible to cyberbullying, and most percentage of cyberbullying happens on social media sites and applications. So the point I'm trying to prove here is, do not resort to bullying anybody. You must be thinking that, okay, it's just one comment, that's all. But it proves to be very detrimental mentally to the person who is actually reading that comment. So don't be a cyberbully. And if you find somebody is a victim to cyberbullying, stand up for them and help them. So that is one thing I am going to strongly enforce on you guys. Now, going forward, what is in it for you? Like, why am I here giving you so much lecture about cybersecurity? how can you make a career out of it? So cybersecurity as a whole is separated into defensive security and offensive security. Offensive security, as I told you earlier, is that companies are going to pay you to attack their systems and find out vulnerabilities. That is offensive security. And on the flip side, defensive security is wherein you are going to proactively put up security controls to enhance your organization's security posture and proactively prevent cyber attacks from happening. So this is how it is categorically defined. Going forward, we have 4 main pillars in cybersecurity. So it is not just one whole huge thing. It is divided into 4 different pillars wherein you can choose your career option. So first one is strategy and governance, wherein you are going to be responsible for helping your client or your organization to understand how they can align their business with their cybersecurity posture. What are the steps they should be taking to improve the security of their organization as a whole? Okay, that is what you're going to do in the first pillar. The second pillar is cyber transformation, and I am a part of the second pillar, the cyber transformation, wherein we set up different security solutions. No, I do not mean by security solutions, I do not mean just antivirus. No, actually, we have a large variety of security solutions. For example, SIM, which is Security Incident and Event Management. We have DLP, Data Loss Prevention. We have IAM, which is Identity and Access Management. So all these different security solutions are responsible for protecting you against different cybersecurity attacks. And we as professionals help our clients into implementing these security solutions. And if they already have these solutions, then we go ahead and review their security solutions to understand how well they are configured and how well they can be configured. So that is our job as part of cyber transformation. Next comes cyber defense. This third pillar is mostly based on the offensive security part. As I have already told you before, this is about your penetration testing, your application and code reviews. You are going to actually sit down, read the entire code of the application, and you're going to find vulnerabilities through which the application can be exploited. It is also called as secure coding, which is one of the most interesting fields, I believe. Anybody who is interested in coding and cybersecurity can actually look into this. The last one is cyber response. So we have an entire team. Every organization will have a 24/7 team who is going to be on constant standby to look for different attacks happening in the system. So as I mentioned in the second pillar regarding the security solutions, now the events triggered from these security solutions need to be investigated to find out if they are actually cyber attacks or not. Sometimes it is just an employee's mistake. For example, an employee may have forgotten the password to his account. So he's trying to type in different passwords, but he's not able to log in. Now, this can be, just the problem of the employee and nothing serious. But on the other hand, this can also indicate that some attacker is trying to gain access to your system by constantly trying to put in different passwords, which is also called as brute force attack, wherein you try multiple different passwords to gain access to the system. So this is what you do in cyber response. And also, once an incident has happened, for example, an organization has already been hit by ransomware, for example, the next step is actually trying to minimize the minimize the downsides of that incident. That is called as incident breach management. That how much can you limit? For example, I have one server which is attacked by the ransomware. So this team is going to come into picture and try to contain the attack to that server itself. It is going to contain the attack so that not the entire organization is affected by it. That is cyber response. So these are the 4 pillars where you can gain your or where you can go forward and choose your career path. So that is that. So yes, these are the different tags that we security professions are given. The highest one being CRO, which is Chief Risk Officer, and CSO, which is Cybersecurity Officer. These are the highest in the hierarchy in the entire organization. And below we have a lot of, depending on the responsibility you undertake, you get different tags. So yes, even when I said that cybersecurity field is overwhelming, it comes with enough equal opportunities for you to get into cybersecurity. And please do not think that if you're not from CS background, you cannot get into cybersecurity. No, that is not true. I have seen my colleagues coming from mechanical and civil engineering background, and they have made it big in the cybersecurity domain. In fact, a fun fact is that most of the cybersecurity professionals actually come from the electrical or electronics and telecommunications background rather than from CS. So that is how accepting the entire domain is. If you are interested in it, if you are willing to dedicate time to it and you're willing to learn, this is one of the best fields that is going to keep up on your feet at all times. So now that was about cybersecurity. Now coming to general terms of what if you're not interested in cybersecurity? You can be interested into AI/ML. You can be interested into development. You can be interested into core mechanical or automobile subjects, and that's the career path you're going to take. And that's absolutely fantastic if you know where your interest lies. But even if you have not yet figured out where your interests are, like for example, I found my interest in 3rd year. So it's not necessary that you too do that. You can be in 1st year, you can be in your 4th year, and you can still be unsure about what to do with your life. And that's totally fine. That's absolutely fine. What would actually help you here is that the engineering curriculum that we have, it is really, really good and helpful. It is going to teach you the basic foundation level knowledge that you need to take and then advance to the next step, advance to the next level. It is not going to teach you how to solve real world problems. No, that is something that you need to come up with and understand and learn on your own. But until and unless you know the basics, until and unless you know the ABCs, you're not going to be able to read the entire novel yourself, right? So don't underestimate the curriculum. It teaches you a lot. Get into the curriculum, get into the depth of it. Try to bug your faculties as much as possible. I remember I used to, in all the classes in wherein I was interested, I used to constantly throw questions, no matter how stupid it sounded. I think Rishikesh sir, Azmat sir, Pratyush sir, Megha ma'am, Pranali ma'am, all these faculties have actually always been there whenever I had any sort of stupid questions, and they have actually entertained me as well. They have tried to be supportive of my questions. So yes, go ahead and ask the faculty anything you want if you cannot find an answer to it yourself. In fact, there were times wherein I and the faculty used to sit together to solve any of my doubts that I had. So do it. You just need to take interest in it yourself. The second point I want to highlight is about focusing on the bigger picture. Okay, so always have a bigger picture in your mind. For example, if you are very much interested into a career in development, you want to go ahead and you love coding, you don't just stick yourself into coding for bubble sort or something like that. No, don't do that. Go ahead with a bigger picture in your mind. Okay, you want to do coding, but why do you want to do coding? What do you want to achieve from coding? Probably you want to make an application which becomes famous or something like that. Probably you have an idea in your mind that I want to make an application that has the capability to do so and so. That is the kind of bigger picture you need to keep in your mind, and that is what motivates you to go forward and learn and dig deep. Okay, so that is the second point. And the last point I want to highlight is about continuous studying. Even if you have like 5 minutes or so, make sure you read something. And if you're not much into reading, probably listen to a podcast. Like I mentioned earlier, a podcast about dark web. If you're really interested in it, just go ahead, listen to it. Of course, there would be times when you don't understand the entire thing, but then you'll actually know what you have to study about, right? So it's better than not knowing at all where to begin. So be consistent. If you have found your interest, be consistent in studying day in and day out every day. Make sure you at least dedicated, if not more, 5 to 30 minutes at least. And try to read about real world problems. For example, in cybersecurity, try to read about the latest cyber attacks that have happened. Try to read about the latest virus or the ransomware that has come up. Try to understand how it actually works. And of course, you will not know everything. Take it one step at a time and try to read about everything that you do not know. And I think that is how you will progress, no matter what the field, no matter where your interest lies in. Continuous study and being consistent in what you do is one of the keys to making things happen. Finally, I would also like to talk a little about how I found a job for myself. I had done my certification in the 7th semester. I did not have a job. Our placements did not, our placements had started, and I did get placed into LTI from my college, from our college. However, I knew that if I went into LTI, I'll probably be there as a engineer trainee, which means there is no guarantee that I can get into cybersecurity. I can be put into any field as per the client or as per the organization needs. And I was very clear on that part that I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to get a job into cybersecurity only. So there is this security conference that happens every year called NULCON. I decided to go into that security conference for 2 reasons. One, because a lot of security advisors and CISOs and previous hackers come into that event, and they have panel discussions, various activities happening, various lectures happening from them. So that was one reason for me to go into NULCON, and the second was because it was happening in Goa. So why would I miss that opportunity? So after I went to that security conference, there was a career fair happening. A lot of companies had come there. Reliance, Shell, Deloitte, EY, KPMG, everyone had come there. And it is there that I met my current manager at KPMG, and post that he set up an interview. After going through 2-3 levels of interview, was I then hired. Even before I graduated, I was hired solely not on the basis of the skills or the experience I had, but probably because I was willing to learn and I was curious, very curious about what is happening, how to do this, and how are we supposed to, make solutions and make this happen. And I was asking a lot of questions then, which is why I think I was hired. Post that, I went up on LinkedIn, made a very professional looking LinkedIn profile, and I talked to a lot of people in this field to understand what is the career path I can take up. And I think all these things that I have done has given me the clarity of doing what I'm doing now. So, college, our college faculties and our placement coordinators are doing an amazing, absolutely amazing work in actually providing placements for us. Okay, in fact, except India, no other country has this placement funda anywhere. It's up to the individual itself to go ahead and look for a job. But here, our college coordinators are trying so hard to get us employed, to get us placed somewhere. But what I want to ask you is, why are you not doing it for yourself? The college coordinators are going to be there, but then I think if you have a clear picture in your mind of what you want to do, you must go ahead and look it up for yourself. There are, for example, if you want to get into development, there are so many companies who actually offer graduate programs like Microsoft, Google, KPMG, Deloitte. Everyone offers graduate programs wherein after a few activities or after a few interviews, you will be hired for the programs itself. You can find a job for yourself. You do not need to depend on placements. If you have the skill, if you are willing to learn, go ahead, use LinkedIn, talk to people who are working in your field, ask them about what else you can learn, get mentors who can actually guide you into getting an entry into the field and growing it, and learning and growing into that field. So I think find your interest and mold it into a career. It depends on the individual itself. Nobody can force you and tell you, no, you must do this. But that is what I'll say. You can, of course, make a career for yourself. And we have a faculty with us who are going to help us. So for example, if you are shy, you are not able to communicate properly, or you're not able to clear your interviews or group discussions, don't stay quiet. Go ahead, talk to Moshmi ma'am, talk to any other faculty, and they are going to help you out there. So don't stay quiet. Whatever weaknesses or whatever insecurities you have, get it rid of it right now, right here, and then progress forward. That is what would be the main takeaway. And yes, I think this has been a fairly a lot of yarn. So in case if you guys slept, I'll just highlight the major points. That cyber attacks are real. You can be a victim anytime. Only because the technology claims to be secure does not mean it is secure. Your privacy is in your hands. So be very mindful of what information you're giving away. Third is, be aware of phishing. It can come in any forms. Even if you think that, okay, you're very advanced and you know about phishing, you can still fall victim. You can still be a prey to it. So be careful. Fourth one is, please don't be a bully. Don't get bullied. If you are getting bullied, stand up and take help. There is no shame in asking for help. And the last one is, you could be the next one to get attacked. So always be very careful. And if we have any questions, we can take questions.
Yeah, we'll go ahead with the question and answers. I could see a lot of questions in the YouTube chat box. So,
Okay.
Rushikesh, could you just speak? I mean, read out the questions. Yes,
Okay.
Jayesh is there. Okay, Jayesh has posted. Huh? Do you think, can you read it out, or Sushmita, you want me to read it?
No problem, ma'am. I'll read it out.
You do that. Okay.
Yes. The first question is, what can actually help me get a job into cybersecurity firm? So let me tell you, there is nothing called as a cybersecurity firm. There, almost all the organizations would have a cybersecurity team, which would be doing the incident response piece. Organizations like KPMG, Deloitte, EY, Accenture, these guys are the one who offer services and expertise to the clients, which means we go ahead for assessments, for penetration testing. So we offer services, cybersecurity services to our clients. Next is the product-based companies like McAfee, who make these security solutions. So anywhere you go, you can find a job into cybersecurity, but what will actually help you gain entry into this field is choosing what you want to do now, whether you want to get into penetration testing, whether you want to get into cyber strategy and governance. So for example, just as an example, if you want to get into penetration testing or something, you can do what I did. You can take up a certified ethical hacking course, get a certification. Mind you, that does not guarantee a job. It will guarantee though that you have basic cybersecurity knowledge. And I think that knowledge and inquisitive nature of asking questions, get your foundations cleared, and that is going to help you get into a firm. Plus, you can always look at LinkedIn, try to find people in different companies and try to get them to mentor you and ask them if there are any opportunities which are suitable for you. That also helps. And there are a lot of entry level job postings on LinkedIn. You can try your hands in that as well. I hope I answered your question. Next is, what is the rough path to make career in offensive cybersecurity? Okay, there are a few things for before you start off with offensive cybersecurity is that you must be very thorough in your basic knowledge about computer networks, very thorough about operating systems, how the operating system works and how does an actual computer work. Okay, once you have the basic idea of this, I think it is very easy for you to develop your skills in offensive cybersecurity. Look for courses in penetration testing. In fact, you have websites like Cybrary, which offer you free cybersecurity courses. Any of the topic you have, Cybrary has different videos where you can watch and learn, and that has helped me a lot when I want to understand some concept. So please go do check out Cybrary, Cybrary. Okay, if I do web scraping, will it be against cybersecurity? If you do web scraping, you should be okay. I'd advise against doing this until unless you're doing it in a isolated, secure environment. This is actually illegal, and I will not encourage you to do this. How? Okay, is this a Shubham's question? If so, then how about Shubham, you ping me on LinkedIn and I can tell you the test sites on which you can try these things hands-on, okay? Rather than being illegal, I'll give you the test sites where you can try this. Okay, next, does ethical hacking fall under cybersecurity? How can one get started with ethical hacking? Yes, exactly. Ethical hacking does fall under cybersecurity. As I said, cyber defense, the third pillar about penetration testing. That is called as ethical hacking. And if you want to get started with it, as I said earlier, have a very good knowledge about computer networks, have a very good knowledge about different operating systems. Start off with with Cyberly, looking at various terminologies, the cybersecurity terminologies, which will help you in understanding what are the different kind of attacks and how do you do it. So that is the foundation for ethical hacking, and then you can proceed with certified ethical hacking certification. And if you are really looking forward to make it big into offensive security, you can also go ahead for a certification called as OSCP. It is one of the most demanding certification, and I think anyone who has it is like super skilled. Cybersecurity firm is what's popping right now. Where to start? I think, Mihir, I have answered this question with regards to the previous questions. So let me know if there's a specific thing you are looking for. Like, if I use VPN, then will I become more vulnerable to hacker, or is it the other way? So no, okay. VPN is an encrypted channel used for communication, and it is basically an anonymizer, which means that your system details will be anonymized. It is one way of using the web, wherein your details are not publicly visible. That's how generically I can say. So no, you do not become vulnerable to an hacker if you use VPN. No, not at all. Or if you are asking me in terms of dark web, then let me know. Then I can, probably give you a well-framed answer for this. Next question is from Ajay. What is a professional hacking? A professional hacking is ethical hacking or penetration testing. Companies are going to pay you to hack their systems and applications, so that while you are hacking, you're going to find vulnerabilities through which an attacker can enter your system. And those vulnerabilities, when you tell to the organization can fix it ASAP and then close that door for the attackers to come in. That is ethical hacking or penetration testing. Are there no vulnerability for WPA2 network except the word list that we make? Needs planning and information gathering and needs time too. So WPS attacks is surely for ethical purpose, no bad intentions. There are vulnerabilities, of course. No system is 100% secure. If you want a secure system, do not connect to the internet, do not connect to electricity, and keep your system in a locked room. And then you can call yourself 100% secure. Other than that, nothing is secure, not even WPA2, except the word lists that we make. Word lists are not the only kind of vulnerability. There are more. I strongly urge you to go ahead and read about the vulnerabilities that can target wireless networks. Okay. So no, word lists are the most basic ones. I'll say there are many more of such vulnerabilities that come in. Yes. So before you actually go ahead and try your hands on this, I urge you to actually learn the functioning behind this system. Okay, I do not see any other questions. Do we have any other questions?
No.
Okay, I think we are done with all the questions. Jayesh, no more questions, I think. Okay. Jayesh writes no in the chat box. So thank you so much, Sushmita. We'll, conclude for the day. Thank you, team of my coordinators, for coordinating and conducting this webinar wonderfully. Thank you once again, Sushmita, for being there. I simply cannot express in words how much proud I am today to have taught you in first year, right? And that day in 2015,
Yes.
I don't think I could, ever imagine that this day, today I'll be there facing you as a speaker. And I told you, I am short of words how to express. And thank you so much for, for your insights on cybersecurity. And I'm sure they have been valuable for all the students, for them who asked you some questions, or the others whose questions have been automatically answered through your session. So thank you so much, and hope we'll see you soon, sometime when you are more knowledgeable, ready to share more and more for your, the students, and definitely you will have a connect to your alma mater, and we are all proud of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everyone, for this opportunity. It was a really amazing experience for me. And anybody who has more questions, please go ahead, take my number from Moshmi ma'am, and you can connect
Or
anytime.
you can do one thing.
Yeah.
Do you have on the screen your contact, LinkedIn or something?
No, actually not. Should I just put it up on the chat window? I'll put my...
Yeah, you put it up. Jayesh, please post it on the chat box of YouTube. Huh? Okay, put it on the chat box. Huh? So if somebody wants to connect your LinkedIn, they can
Yes,
follow.
put it up. Yeah. Okay, I hope I must have intrigued some interest in people who want to pursue cybersecurity. And I wish everyone best of luck in the journey.
Thank you. Huh?
Thank you very much.
Jayesh, you have posted, isn't it? Do we need to stay on?